I'm here on their behalf as well. I think that the problem that we have seen on the river and just the camping in general in our community is a problem. It's symptomatic of the problems of poverty in our culture and in our society, and particularly here the lack of housing options for people, whether it be homeless shelter beds, transitional housing, or agricultural worker housing, particularly for the migrant workers who do come through for days or weeks at a time. And I was here a few years ago when you were discussing the illegal camping ordinance, and want to just shout out once again that some of these people that are camping on the river and some of these people who are camping in the woods are ag workers that don't have housing. And although we do have some housing options, I want to echo David's comments about the fact that we have hardly enough. And we have a very wonderful tool to try to implement programs and actions to deal with homeless housing, transitional housing, and agricultural housing, and that's called your housing element. So I urge you to not only try to expedite the implementation of the remaining actions that are in your current housing element to address the needs of these groups, but also to look forward to the next 8 years, which is the next planning period for the housing element. It's changed the law now. Instead of 5 years, you're going to get 8. That's long-term planning so that even in this economy, we can really try to set some goals and try to reach them to meet these needs that a great percentage of our community has and will continue to have. Thank you.
Thank you. Other members of the public wishing to speak to this item? Okay. Closing statements from staff at all? Okay. All right. Well, again, I do appreciate the quick action on this, and I look forward to the continued action into the future. And thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. We do have a timed item at 2:30, so we're actually ahead of schedule. Let's take up item 8C, discussion possible action regarding board ad hoc committee status reports. To the clerk.
We routinely schedule board ad hoc committee reports so that we can ascertain whether or not there's still an active need for these committees to exist or whether the business has been concluded, and therefore we could go ahead and take those off of the record. So if each of the ad hoc committees could go through the itemized list that we've provided and provide us that direction.
Okay, to committee members, you want to go right down the line or identify ones that should be deleted? What would be the best approach? Okay, let's just go down the list. Emergency Medical Services Administration with CalSTAR helipad restrictions. Colfax and Delbar, still need a need for that? Yeah, I got this in out of my box.
I don't have it either. I'm missing some pages. Okay.
Okay.
I got pages 5 and 6. Okay, give him that one. What do you think?
Johnny's not on any of those, so yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm on everything else.
We just moved names around.
To Supervisor Colfax, Delbar and Smith, the last item, the Cow Mountain Ad Hoc Committee, is that still ongoing? We're still looking for that second access, correct? Or what are we attempting to do there?
Absolutely, that's going to be an ongoing issue for quite some time, but you know, the other issues of Mill Creek, I mean, there have been some improvements, but it's,
Stick with it. We'll need
you know, I'd say it could still stay open.
Okay. We'll keep that one active. To the two supervisors to my right, back, leave it on there?
Leave it, yeah.
Okay. How about the retiree health benefits, Smith and Colfax?
Yes, we still need that one.
Need that. Next one, Smith and myself, diversity policy. We haven't met on that in 2 years.
Well, I don't think 2 years, but since, well, it says it was active as of 5/08. I think we met the beginning of this year, maybe the end, maybe it's been a year, it's not been 2 years. We just haven't really wrapped that up. It's
Right.
unfortunate,
Okay.
but
We'll leave
we
it
had
there.
staff changes at HR, I don't know. What do you think? I think we should just,
It's not going to be taken up before I leave, so it'll be up to you to kind of carry the ball with
Okay.
a new member, so.
sure.
Next one, coordinating committee for Casper Transfer Station operating expenses, Smith and Kofax.
That's your call, I don't see it.
Quite a bit of work actually has occurred there, and I think it's been a very successful partnership. I think we need to leave it because I believe our joint agreement with the city requires that there be a committee. So if any business were to come forward, we'd have to reconstitute it. So
Okay.
I think I recommended to Mr. Miller that we reconvene after the last adjustment of fees to see what. So we haven't met in a while, but it's been very successful. I think we still should leave it open.
Okay. Next one is Supervisor Delbar and myself on revenue tax sharing. That certainly is very active. We need to keep that open through the end of the year. Hopefully we'll have a piece of fruit to provide the board for picking before